We've received some genuinely shocking New York Knicks updates, both on Mitchell Robinson and his health after some comments made by Tom Thibodeau, and also with the AllStar ballot voting involving the Knicks' two superstars in Karl-Anthony Towns and the captain, Jalen Brunson, and we're going to break this all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I'm so thankful that we passed 10K. I really appreciate it, but now we're only on the road up. 10 more to go till we get to 20, but right now we're just trying to get to 11. So if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. But let's jump right into things. We're here to talk about basketball, and that is exactly what we're going to do as always. Mitchell Robinson, a career 8-8 guy with the New York Knicks, is their defensive anchor, and he's just a very vital part of this team. The Knicks need more rim protection, and they need more rebounding. Mitchell Robinson will fix both those problems the second he gets back on the court. He also has the nickname of the Block Nest Monster, which is just a phenomenal nickname, but that's besides the point. Now, Mitchell Robinson, there's been a lot of different noise about his return to the New York Knicks, and we're finally in the month that Mitchell Robinson is expected to come back. Darielle and I actually just talked about that, and we're like, it's beautiful to know that. Well, about that, Ian Begley said on SNY Sports Night that Mitchell Robinson is not that close at this point to coming back. Now, that could mean a few different things. That could mean Mitchell Robinson's not that close, as in, well, yeah, Mitchell Robinson's not going to play in the next 2 weeks. To Mitchell Robinson's not that close of, yeah, he's certainly not playing in January. I don't know what you people are thinking. However, January has been the highlighted date by Ian Begley specifically, but also by the New York Knicks people who told Begley that, which makes me think that Begley more means this in a bit of a short-term way, not in the long term of, okay, well, Mitch is not coming back at all. He's not going to return from injury whatsoever for the next few months. We're going to have to wait way longer to see Mitchell Robinson play. This might be a year-long injury. I don't think that is what Ian Begley means. I think what Begley means, as I try to make my hair straighter, I think what Ian Begley means more than anything is that he fully believes that Mitchell Robinson is just not coming back within the next couple days. However, at the end of the month, we should see Mitchell Robinson practicing. Now, this is an interesting comment to see based off Tom Thibodeau and what he recently said on Mitch, saying that Mitchell Robinson hasn't been cleared yet, so we're still in the same place, but he's doing well, so we're anticipating that sometime this month he will be cleared to practice, which is very important for the New York Knicks. The Knicks do need Mitchell Robinson if they want to be at their best. Mitch has been someone who's been vital for the Knicks every year he's with the team. He's got a career PER of 20.3. The man is just a very, very solid player. He does all the right things on defense. He's a phenomenal rebounder. He's basketball's best offensive rebounder. And the Knicks could use that. They don't get a ton of offensive rebounds, especially compared to years prior. It feels like it's way down without Mitch or without Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns is a phenomenal, and I mean, he is a phenomenal rebounder. Towns has been one of the best rebounders in basketball this season, consistently leading the NBA in rebounds per game, though I believe he does not right now. I think it's Domantas Sabonis as of right now, though Towns is in and out of that spot a lot. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns is someone who is doing a lot on the rebounding end, but there's not a lot of Knicks helping out. They're not a bad rebounding team. They're just not the great rebounding team that they usually are. And getting back a guy who puts up a career of 8 rebounds per game, who last season averaged around 8, but initially was around 10 when he was healthy, or actually at 10, it was at 10.3. You guys know I use that stat a lot. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know I use his first 21 games as the metric of a healthy Mitchell Robinson from last season because that was the only time he played when he was healthy. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks, they're still a solid team. Don't get me wrong. Now, they could use some more rebounding help, but we do know this about the Knicks rebounding. According to Sports Illustrated, they believe that the Knicks rebounding game has been fairly good. They're allowing the second fewest rebounds per game in the NBA. 4 different players are getting at least 5 rebounds, with OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Precious Achiuwa, along with Karl-Anthony Towns. And I mean, Precious has been good in his role, but he's more of a power forward. Statistically, he's better as a 4. This season, he's averaging 5.5 points with 6.5 rebounds, and he is shooting over 40% from deep on the low percentage of threes that he takes. His defensive box plus minus is good. He's blocking nearly a shot per game. He's getting nearly a steal per game. Good numbers off the bench for a guy who's playing 12 to 15 minutes a night. However, at the same time, Mitchell Robinson just brings the Knicks to a new level, as he is a true, tried and true rim protector who just does everything right for the New York Knicks. I do hope Mitchell Robinson is back as soon as humanly possible, and I frankly do think Mitchell Robinson will make it back fairly soon, if you ask me. That's my guess. Now, you also have guys like Jericho Sims, who's averaging a little under 2 points with 3.5 rebounds per game, but he's fallen out of the rotation completely with Precious being back, and Ariel Hukporti, who's, for all intents and purposes right now, the fourth string center, and he'll probably stay that when Mitch comes back, because Precious will go to the power forward spot, so he won't lose the slot. He won't fall down one more. But he's just depth at this point. He will be more when time goes on. The Knicks like Ariel Hukporti a ton. It's just a matter of time. He is a rookie. The Knicks are not really playing rookies, as they are a contending team, and most contending teams don't. However, I do think they should play Bakom Dadier to give OG Anunoby more rest, but that's beside the point. Topic for a different video. So that's really what we're looking at here. Now, there also is something else that we have to go into, and that is the fan voting returns have come around for the first time. And this is the other part of this Knicks news that's genuinely shocking, as Karl-Anthony Towns is basically a mortal lock to be an all-star starter this season, as everyone, fans, media, should be voting for him. He's third right now. He probably won't pass Tatum or Giannis, and that's fine. Giannis is having an MVP-level season. Jason Tatum's been phenomenal this year. So is Karl-Anthony Towns. And Towns could be higher than Tatum, and it wouldn't be wrong. Higher than Giannis, and it would be, but Towns has been very, very good this season. In fourth place is Huevos Rancheros, Paulo Banchero. I think it's Banchero, actually. But essentially, he's not going to make it there. He'll be in the All-Star game, don't get me wrong. Despite the injury to the oblique, he should be there. Paulo's been awesome this season, and he deserves recognition for it. On top of that, you got guys like Jaylen Brown and Jimmy Butler there, along with Franz Wagner, who's also messed up by the torn oblique. Joel Embiid's there, though he hasn't really played a ton of games, so it wouldn't be shocking if he didn't make the All-Star game, but also he probably will make it in some degree because he is Joel Embiid. For some weird reason, Paul George is there, despite the fact that Paul George is having an abysmal season, showing that he's most likely completely washed up. And then Evan Mobley, whose defense has gotten him on the list. Now, I am bummed out that we're not seeing OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges on the list. I think that's a testament to the fact that the Knicks fans have not been voting well enough. I mean, you look at Jalen Brunson, the real shocker here. I mean, he's fourth in guard voting, fourth. We're letting Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell, guys who play for the Milwaukee Bucks and Cleveland Cavaliers, have more votes than Jalen Brunson, Knicks fans. I know that they've been very famous as NBA players for a longer time than Jalen Brunson. We're Knicks fans. Jalen Brunson had the most points of any single player throughout all of 2024. We can't get Jalen Brunson into that starting spot. Guys, it takes 2 minutes to vote. And what we're looking at right now is a world where Jalen Brunson doesn't start. What? Dude, it's Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NBA. He deserves to start, first of all. He deserves it over Damian Lillard. He deserves it over Donovan Mitchell. I understand the Donovan Mitchell argument that the Cavs are really good and he's the best player on the team. I get it. And we're going to pull up their numbers and compare them in 1 second, so stay ready. He's better than LaMelo Ball. I know LaMelo Ball's having a great statistical average year, but also he's missing a ton of games due to injuries. And yeah, he's putting up 30 points and it looks great, but he's on the highest usage of any player in the league pretty much. I mean, he's taking a million shots. His percentages aren't beautiful or anything like that. Jalen Brunson is the best guard in the Eastern Conference, and right now, we as Knicks fans have failed to prop him up to be an all-star starter. Now, all-star voting only counts for 50% of the votes, as things had to change. And as you can see, there's not too many meme guys in here. You get some casual takes, like putting Paul George in the top 10 in the front court, which is just an absolute joke. And outside of that, you don't really see the meme votes as much. We're not seeing too many of them at all throughout these lists. Like, I mean, I guess Norman Powell's a name that you wouldn't expect on there until you realized he was averaging 24 points per game this season. So, I mean, Norman Powell deserves all-star recognition, or at least fringe all-star recognition. You look at the East, there's not really too many joke names here either. Jordan Poole might be the funniest name to pop out, but again, Jordan Poole's having a very underrated season that's just overshadowed by the Wizards being awful. Jalen Brunson deserves to be an all-star, man. Okay, so Jalen Brunson, we're just going to look at his numbers. We're going to look at his numbers. You tell me if this isn't an all-star starter. 25 points per game with 3 rebounds and 8 assists per game. He's shooting 40% from 3 and 48% from the field. Now, here's Donovan Mitchell's numbers. 23 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Similar shooting numbers. Here's Brunson's. Here's Mitchell's. Brunson averages more points and assists. Donovan averages an extra rebound and a half over Brunson. I don't like it, guys. I do not like the fact that the New York Knicks have not been able to get this guy into the top 2 of the front court voting, and he absolutely should be, which is the problem. Now, also shout out Precious. He should be in there also. But, yeah, he should not. But Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to be an all-star starter. 25 points per game, nearly 14 rebounds a game, 3 assists, 44% from 3, 55% from the field. The man is absolutely phenomenal, and he deserves it 100%. But so does Jalen Brunson. I mean, what does Jalen Brunson have to do? Also, we're just going to take another look at this. If Trae Young were above Jalen Brunson, I would even be somewhat fine with that. Young is having an awesome season, especially when it comes to leading the NBA in assists per game at 12.2. But on top of that, he's in a bigger market in Atlanta, and he's also very famous. So Trae Young makes a million more sense to me than either Dame or Donovan being ahead of Jalen Brunson. LaMelo Ball is one of the more famous point guards, or one of the more famous basketball players on the planet. If we're being honest, he's still famous from all the Ball family stuff. We can't pretend like he's not. It's just, you're letting guys who are objectively worse than Jalen Brunson ahead of him. And it's disgusting as Knicks fans that, despite the fact that we're the biggest fan base in the world and actively get chance in opposing courts, opposing arenas, I couldn't think of the word, that we can't get Brunson in here. I mean, it's Brunson.
Someone cooked here.
We got to get this man to the All-Star game, man. He really deserves it. Not just in the All-Star game. He'll obviously be an All-Star. He deserves to be a starter. I don't see how anyone could disagree. If for some reason you do, let me know down below. Comment below if you voted today. I voted. Make sure you vote for the Knicks All-Star games. I promise you I did today. It takes 90 seconds. I counted. You sign in your NBA ID. You vote. Vote for all the Knicks. Don't vote for other guards, or then it'll hurt Brunson's chances. Vote for all the Knicks. And then go Knicks. Have a great day, guys.